Hello, my name is Lucas DeCruz, and I'm a fifth grader at Menlo Park Academy. I studied the best water solution for soybean growth. During my experiment, I tested 15 different soybeans with 5 different water solutions, including distilled water, tap water, sugar water, water and fertilizer, and salt water. I originally thought that water and fertilizer, which had nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, would help to promote the best soybean growth. In my project, I filled 5 pots with potting soil and placed it near a large window. In each pot, there were 3 soybeans. One of my challenges during the experiment was converting from customary to metric units. I was interested in my topic because soybeans are one of the most prevalent crops in the United States and are grown a lot in Ohio. And I thought of my project idea by myself. I also did not find it on published research. My scientific question was, do different water solutions affect soybean growth? My hypothesis was that if plants are grown with different water solutions, then the one grown with water and fertilizer will grow the best because of the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium in it, which will help with the above ground, below ground, and the overall health of the soybean. Nitrogen helps with the above ground and gives green leaves. Phosphorus helps with the below ground and gives healthy roots and good soybean pods and flowers. And the potassium helps the overall health of the soybean and builds strong cells. These are the materials I used, and I used them by filling 5 pots with potting soil and placing a pot saucer underneath. I labeled the pots with the water solution that they would be grown with. Then I placed them all near a large window. Then they were planted, then 3 soybeans were planted in each pot, and they were watered every few days with the water solution that they were grown with, either salt water, tap water, sugar water, water and fertilizer, or distilled water in the respective pots. And then I measured the growth every day. This is a picture of the tap water plant on November 21st. You can see that 2 soybean pods have already come up. And on the same day, you can see that sugar water, water and fertilizer, and distilled water plants have already soybeans come up. And only 4 days later, you can see the drastic change in height from distilled water. On December 19th, which was the last day of my experiment, you can see how tall they all are, except for the saltwater plant, which has been dying. This is the graph from November 24th, which shows that tap water is the tallest, then distilled water, next is sugar water, then water and fertilizer, and salt water. On December 7th, distilled water is the tallest, then tap water, then water and fertilizer, then sugar water, and then salt water. And on the last day, distilled water ended the tallest, then tap water, and sugar water, and water and fertilizer, then salt water. This is the graph that shows the same thing. It shows that distilled water and tap water were the tallest and were very close in height the whole time. Sugar water and water and fertilizer were close in height and also did very well. And salt water did very poorly the whole time. In conclusion, the hypothesis that water and fertilizer would grow the best was proven wrong because the soil that I used had fertilizer in it, which when the fertilizer was added, it was over fertilized, which ended up to be a negative instead of a positive. And distilled water plant grew the best because the distilled water is pure and has no bacteria or living bodies in it. When I was researching soybeans, I learned about some of the science behind the plant's life, including osmosis, diffusion, photosynthesis, and some of the plant's life cycles, like the nitrogen cycle and the water cycle. If I did my experiment again, I would change it by using regular soil from outside so that there wouldn't be a negative from the water and fertilizer, and it would be more fair, and it would more recreate some of the soil from farms. This knowledge can benefit society because it shows the best water solution for soybeans, which will help them grow better. But also, distilled water costs a lot of money, so it wouldn't end up being a positive for farmers because it would cost more than they would end up getting. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something new.